Okay, hello everybody. LoudCloud, my name is Manoj Khare, I'm the CEO and founder of LoudCloud. We set this business up in 2010, 3 years ago. Feels like a long time already. And the core idea here was to improve learning by understanding behaviors. I'm having some trouble. We are a Dallas, Texas-based company. We have about 100 employees today. We have grown pretty quickly. Our clients that we have both in higher education and K-12 account for more than 250,000 students amongst themselves. There are two broad goals or business that we have. One was to build a better mousetrap, a better learning management system, a better product that can help teachers and institutions deliver instructional resources. But the second was to really track and identify student behavior, teacher behavior, with the intent of improving academic outcomes. And we felt that if we couldn't do the latter, the former really did not really help. If you think of the course delivery systems or the learning management systems that have been around for over 10 years, 20 years, all of them were designed to push information from the teacher to the student, a one-way street. And that would just not give you sufficient feedback, either from the students, how the students are learning, how the teachers are teaching, what content is being consumed, none of which that could help you make a difference to your, or at least a big difference to your academic progress. And I think some of the data proves that too. So our business was primarily to focus on feedback systems that we could design and develop, integrate that with the learning management system so that we could build a better instructional platform. We are content agnostic, software as a service platform that sells primarily to institutions. So as we started designing this platform, we had about 20 such hypotheses, and I'm just going to walk you through 2 or 3 of them. Students, none of them here, so we can say safely that they are probably some of the greatest procrastinators. If there's an assignment that's needed to be turned in at 7 o'clock, we'll probably be getting ready to start work on it right now. And so what was the impact of this on technology? We had to have a technology that was highly scalable with peak bursts at short periods of time. But more importantly, a student that needs help at 9 o'clock in the evening for a test tomorrow morning, how can we match the student with both instructional content as well as experts who could help him at that time based on his or her unique learning needs? That required us to rethink design from different aspects. And one thing that we hit upon, we have a large for-profit university here in Phoenix who was one of our first customers, 50,000 students on the platform. And we realized that the ability to curate tasks and activities and push it to the student or the teacher, tell them that these are 5 things that you need to do to be successful today, these are some items that are overdue, that was the thing that really got everybody hooked on, the teachers and the students. And that was a big design change that we did from conventional learning platforms. And of course, you've all heard the last 4 speakers talk about personalization, content curation, etc. But the idea of curating content based on how students are engaging with one another and with the content and build a technology platform that is underpinned by both engagement and analytics was what we thought was important in building the system. Another hypothesis, some hardworking teachers here hopefully, hard-pressed to find time to deliver a personalized class or effectively grade students. And what does that impact? Clearly, if you're standing in front of and lecturing to 700 students, you're not going to be able to deliver a personalized class. But in the online medium, you have the ability to deliver that. If you don't, then you obviously don't have, a horse. You have a horses for courses. You won't have a horses for courses approach. Ineffective feedback to students, we heard more increasingly, was one of the biggest problems that students were talking about. That the feedback was very generic, and so we said, how can we actually design a platform that can both allow teachers to author content on the fly quickly by integrating third-party systems. We were one of the early platforms to integrate with LTI, but look at content that's being used, marry that content, and push that content out to the teacher, and to recommend to the teacher that this content might be useful for this student or for this class. Again, for the school out here, go into the next slide and talk about this. Schools are finding it difficult to improve both student retention as well as the overall student performance, by and large. And technology has not really helped till date. Otherwise, we'd have seen student performance being much better. This, of course, has a significant impact both on business performance of the school as well as accreditation issues, etc. And when we looked at this, we created a very powerful, sophisticated analytics suite, both that can rapidly mine data and provide just-in-time intervention, support, help to both teachers and students. In a 6-month exercise here, we had over 100 million records. 100 million records of these students, 50,000 students, from which we could really identify and analyze which interventions are actually helping which group of students. That helped the school actually redefine some of their content that they could push to those students, but more importantly, some of the engagement tools that we were building, they could start analyzing whether these kind of tools, when used by students, would help this student of this demographic profile, or if they were a first-generation student coming into college, etc. Most importantly, of course, we also realized that integrating alerts and notifications and allowing those alerts and notifications to be programmed based on comparative performance. If I want to be in the top 10% of the class, looking at longitudinal data and then pushing a set of activities that I need to do today or over the next 7 days to be successful in the program. And so we've been piloting these kind of analytics at different both post-secondary as well as K-12 environments. So when we started LoudCloud, we went out and we spoke to different stakeholders. We asked them what is it that they are what is it that they are looking for, what are important to them, and based on this, we developed the product. But one thing that resonated across all stakeholders was design. Anybody who was using the platform, anybody who's using today, or those who have used traditional learning management systems, might actually might resonate with this concept that design has really been not given the same kind of attention that we take for granted with many of the other platforms and products. So when we built LoudCloud, we looked at 5 or 6 big ideas. LoudCloud, the LMS, is more powerful, more versatile, and a very easy to use platform. That's the core central component. Around that, there are 5 or 6 different products that we built. The first one was to build a very powerful reader, social, that you can engage with socially, both with the content, with your peers, etc. We believe that that is a platform like no other out there. Loud Books, followed by Loud Maps, and we demoed this at the South by Southwest. We partnered with InBloom to roll this out. The ability to curate and push personalized content to students based on their activities. Analytics, Loud Coach, which is what we call your on-demand guru, and Loud Portfolio with one click. How can you curate and create a set of competencies that you have built over the last 4-10 years in your school or in your college that you can push with one click to any social tools outside. Finally, we're focused on both for-profit, K-12, higher ed, as well as K-12 institutions. We were on track to signing up 1 million users, and we seem to be doing well going out there. I'm here for the next couple of days, so if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.